Hello everyone, welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And part B today is a different conversation from yesterday. The title is Which is Better? So clearly, some people are going to have a choice of a few different things and they have to pick one, the one that is most good or best or better than the other ones. And I believe here they're going to be talking about gas vehicles, the old style of car or scooter that you put gas or oil and things like that into, or electric, like a lot of the new vehicles. I know you drive to work here.
Yes.
In a car, because you
Yes.
live far away. Is it an electric car?
It is not,
Okay.
unfortunately. The thing is, I would, of course, prefer to have a electric car or an electric, any type of transportation device, because I think that really is better for everything going forward. But at the moment, for my kind of price range, it wasn't really in the cards. But
I see, yeah.
more and more, they're getting more and more affordable.
Sure.
So I think in the future, probably the next time I have to switch a car, I probably will get an electric one. And they should be safer and more widely available for plugging them in to all that kind of stuff.
That's true. The science changes very quickly with these electric vehicles. I know a friend, he's got an electric scooter. He loves it. He thinks it's great. And really, Taiwan is a good place for electric vehicles because we don't really drive very far. Many people use it. And with some of these companies coming from Taiwan, it's easy to get batteries and to get more electricity into your vehicle. I agree, I'm the same with you. I have an old style gas scooter, but the next one I buy will definitely be electric. So let's find out which is better in a conversation with two friends, Owen and Lori. Owen and Lori are in the market for a new scooter.
I think we should get an electric scooter this time.
I don't know. Most gas scooters are still cheaper than electric ones.
Yeah, but electric scooters are better for the environment.
All right, so yes, our article or conversation today, which is better? Which one should we pick? Owen and Lori are in the market for a new scooter. No, they're not at the scooter market, like a night market. When you're in the market for something, that just means you're looking to buy something. You want or need to buy something. You could be sitting at home looking at your phone, but if you're planning to spend your money, if you're planning to buy something, probably for something a little special or a little expensive, you might say, I'm in the market for a new cell phone, a new video game machine, a new computer, whatever. That's something I need and I want to buy one.
Yes, and so Lori starts off this conversation with, I think we should get an electric scooter this time. So this, obviously they must be discussing, again, they're in the market for a new scooter.
Right.
So they must be discussing what type of scooter should they get. And so Lori suggests an electric scooter. This word electric is the adjective form of electricity, the noun. And so it is used to say that whatever you are talking about runs on electricity. An electric car, an electric scooter, an electric bike. If you've ever had to pedal a bike a long ways, sometimes you can rent an electric bike that kind of helps you out a little bit. Those are nice. And so we see this word a lot now as more and more vehicles are going green and going electric.
Exactly. Of course, you won't see this with things that are only electric. So you can say an electric car or scooter, an electric teapot or something like that. But of course, you wouldn't say an electric fridge or an electric computer. There are no gas-powered fridges or computers. But the opposite in the world of cars and scooters would be gas, gas-powered car, gas car, electric car. And here we have Owen with the other one they're looking for. He says, I don't know. He's not sure he agrees with Lori that an electric scooter is the best. He continues, he says, most gas scooters, there we go, are still cheaper than electric ones. So the older style with the motor engine, the gas motor engine, he's saying these ones are still cheaper than the newer, fancy, modern electric ones. But not so good for the earth.
Yes, and so that's kind of been a lot of people's issue of price versus better for the environment.
I want to save the earth, but it's like 20 or 30,000 NT dollars more.
Yes, and so we see Lori bring up, yeah, but electric scooters are better for the environment.
It's true.
So I think we kind of all know that, and I think most people will choose electric vehicles in the future when it becomes easier to do everything and cheaper than the gas alternative.
That's a good point. And of course, gas is getting more expensive. If you have the electric scooter, you don't have to pay for gas every week. That's another way, I guess, you save money over a long time. Because yes, when you're putting gas into a car or scooter, you have to pay for it. Gas comes from the gas station, but really it comes from oil that we pump from underground. We process the oil in a big factory or a refinery, and then it becomes this sort of golden yellow type liquid. That's the stuff that we put inside our cars and scooters. The engine burns it, it gives it power and energy, but of course it also produces smoke and CO2, all the bad stuff for the air. But if you're at the gas station pumping that liquid into your car to make it work, that liquid is gas or gasoline, or as British people would say, petrol. P-E-T-R-O-L. All the same stuff. Let's take a break and then we'll come back and we'll be firing on all cylinders.
I knew you would bring up the pollution thing.
Of course. That's more important to me than anything else.
For me, gas scooters are more powerful and more convenient to refuel.
Also, electric scooters are less expensive in the long run because there's less maintenance, and gas prices keep increasing.
You may have a point there.
Okay, so welcome back. And we are still talking about scooters. And do we want an electric scooter or do we want a gas scooter? So Lori seems to be leaning towards electric because it's better for the environment. And Owen is kind of thinking, well, but it's more expensive, so I don't know. And now we're going to see what are they going to continue discussing and what will be their decision.
That's right. Lori seemed to really want to go electric because it's good for the environment. Of course, they don't produce the pollution that the gas engine will. And for Owen, environment and eco-friendly and green, blah, blah, blah. He's not so interested in that kind of thing. Some people haven't quite caught up with the world and don't really take it super seriously, kind of like Owen here. He says, I knew you would bring up the pollution thing. You know, that kind of friend who's always like, oh, we should recycle this, we should recycle that. Another friend might be like, oh, I'm tired of recycling and the earth and the environment and all that. So he's being a little bit unserious here, a little bit maybe not as thoughtful and careful, but he really just wants to make a decision about a scooter.
Yes.
And he's not so worried about being environmentally friendly, but I think Lori's got a point here.
Yes, yes. It sounds like Owen is kind of more on the I want to save money side than anything else.
Right.
But Lori goes, of course, in response to bringing up the pollution thing.
It's important.
Yes, and so she says, of course, that's more important to me than anything else.
Okay.
So it sounds like Lori is like, no, this is the most important part when choosing a new car. I want it to be good for the environment, cut down on pollution. I want to go electric.
There you go, because Lori wants to protect the earth from, of course, pollution, which is the big environmental problem we have these days. There is pollution in many forms out there in the world. Pollution is really just something artificial, something we put in the environment. It's not natural. It comes from human life, factories, the machines that we make and build and use. And if we put chemicals in a river or smoke into the sky, we can also talk about light pollution,
yes,
noise pollution, things that are added to the environment that aren't natural, and they make life harder and more dangerous and can possibly even kill people or animals. That's the kind of thing we want to get down, get rid of pollution so the earth is cleaner and nicer for everyone and everything. For me, back to Owen, he says, gas scooters are more powerful and more convenient to refuel. Okay, so these are the other better reasons that Owen has. He says, I like the power of a gas motor, maybe if he wants to drive fast or carry heavy things on the scooter. That could be important. And of course, it's easier to refuel. The electric ones, you need to find a place with the battery. You need to plug them in for a few hours. The gas ones, of course, just find a gas station, pump the fuel, you're done.
Yes, and so we have this verb refuel. So it comes from the base verb of fuel. To fuel something is to give it what it needs to run. So in this case, we have gas, and so we're fueling it with gas. And then means to fuel it again. So you filled it up with gas, you ran out of gas, you needed to go back to the gas station and refuel it. We can kind of use this also for the electric side, but since it's electricity, we would probably just say plug it in. But you can refuel your body by eating food or by sleeping and getting more energy. So this refuel doesn't have to just be gas for a car in that way.
And we might say recharge as well for something electric.
Yes, and so then Lori continues on and she says, also, electric scooters are less expensive in the long run because there's less maintenance and gas prices keep increasing.
True, that's true.
And so, yeah, this is the kind of the trade-off of more money now to save in the long run, meaning the long term or over the whole time that you might have this scooter versus the gas scooter that you pay less in the beginning, but in the long term or the long run, you might have to pay more in other ways.
Okay, so Owen's listening to this. He's thinking about what Lori is telling him. Maybe some of those things he didn't know or didn't really think about. Less expensive, easier to refuel, less maintenance. So he says, that's the sound of someone thinking. Maybe even the sound of someone changing their mind. He says, you may have a point there. If you say you may have a point there, you're kind of showing that I'm changing my mind. I'm starting to agree with you. Your point, what you just said, really makes sense, and it's something I didn't think about, but now I think about it. Yeah, I'm starting to agree with you, especially that point about electric scooters needing less maintenance. Maintenance is when you take care of a machine to keep it running in good condition. When you buy something, it won't need a lot of maintenance, but if you use it a lot after a few months or a few years, things will start to get old, things will start to wear down or even break. You take your motorcycle to the mechanic in the garage, maybe once a year. They put in some oil, they tighten this up, clean that up, change this thing because it's getting old. If you keep it in good maintenance, or if you maintain it, to give the verb, it should run for a long time with no problems.
Yes, and then we also had this word point. Obviously, most people know the verb point, to point at something. This is the noun form, and they're talking about your point, or you make a good point. This is the important part of what you are trying to say. So you had talked about something, and that was your point. That was your message that you were trying to get across to somebody else. And so when they say, oh, you make a good point. It means your message makes sense. This important thing you were trying to say, I get it.
There you go. So they're listening to each other's points on why they think different scooters are better. Who knows what they'll decide? I think Lori's points, to me, they add up to a bit more. I think they should go electric. What do you guys think? Have a chat about that. And we'll see you back here sometime soon. Until then, stay well, healthy, drive safe, protect the environment, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Owen and Lori are in the market for a new scooter.
I think we should get an electric scooter this time.
I don't know. Most gas scooters are still cheaper than electric ones.
Yeah, but electric scooters are better for the environment.
I knew you would bring up the pollution thing.
Of course. That's more important to me than anything else.
For me, gas scooters are more powerful and more convenient to refuel.
Also, electric scooters are less expensive in the long run because there's less maintenance, and gas prices keep increasing.
You may have a point there.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 electric 形容词，电动的。Tom has an electric guitar. Tom 有一台电吉他。下一个单字 gas 名词，汽油。We need to fill up on gas before we set off. 我们必须在出发前加满汽油。Set off 指的是出发。下一个单字 pollution 名词，污染。We need to reduce pollution and protect our planet. 我们需要减少污染，并且保护我们的地球。Reduce 指的是减少。最后一个单字 point 名词，论点、观点。Nelson made some interesting points in his speech. Nelson 在他的演讲中提出了一些有趣的观点。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 Somebody is in the market for something. 某人正在物色某个事情或某个东西。In the market 指的是有兴趣取得或者是购买。我们来看看这个例句。I heard that John is in the market for a new car. 我听说 John 正在物色一部新车。下一个文法 bring up 提到、提起，这是一个可以分开的动词片语哦。我们来看看这个例句。I don't want to bring up the past and start a fight. 我不想提起过去并且引发争吵。最后一个文法 in the long run 长期下来、长远来看，这是一个副词片语。Run 指的是走向、趋势。我们来看看这个例句。Exercising regularly is important for your health in the long run. 长期来看，规律运动对健康很重要。Regularly 指的是规律的、定期的。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Tunghai University's Campus Mall is a green walkway that has a strong academic atmosphere. Campus Mall got its name because the Chinese characters of Wen and Li stand for the College of Arts and the College of Science, the first two buildings built on either side of the campus mall. The classrooms on both sides of the path were built with a traditional Chinese courtyard-style design. The courtyards are filled with trees that give shade. The end of Campus Mall faces the sunset. Thus, Campus Mall is also referred to as Sunset Boulevard. The banyan trees on the sides of the path were planted over 60 years ago and have formed a tunnel of trees. The streetlights along the path are hollow, in the shape of the Chinese plum, and give gorgeous rays of light.